Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of this collaboration series with web and content relationship. I'm just going to introduce myself and I'll pass it over to my Tobiloba and Ali. Yeah, sorry about the background very soon. Yeah, today we'll be doing awesome stuff today. React. What we'll be doing for today is just discover. So we'll talk about how to memorize things in React, like taking it caching this application. Yeah, how you can use the one. So go back to this. How you can use that. So without further ado, let me pass it back to Raj.
Okay, so in the name of God, so hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing great. So, so my name is Ali. So I'm a front-end developer. So in today's live stream, we are going, as Toby said, we are going to talk about teach about use callback and why we have to use that one in React while working in a project that we are using React JS. And what's the point of using that one? So I hope this live stream is going to be beneficial for you and learn something throughout the by the end of this live stream. So let me share my screen. So I think as always we were showing a demo project before I start coding it, but for today's it's different. Like we don't have any demo website or demo project. We straight go to the VS Code and start making the project. While we're making the project, we also teach you what's the point of what's the logic behind of this, and yeah, and so on. So let's go to the code, like VS Code. So what I did right now is to create a Vite project. Like what you need to do right now for starting, getting all of these files is to go to the terminal and say npm create Vite and dot. So dot saying is saying that uh, add these files in the current folder, which I'm in the live stream 24. So when you're done, just hit enter and you will get some options like to choose frameworks, libraries. So we choose React, and also it will give you another option like TypeScript, JavaScript. We use JavaScript, so that's easy. You can do that. So right now what we did right now is to run the project, and right now it's this is the project that we're getting right now, which we don't really need that one. So we can remove all of it to get a simple project. Like we don't need the user state, don't really need this app.css. We can remove this one. Also, we don't really need this one as well. We only need a simple project, and also yeah. So Toby, you can take from now on and create the file that we need for this live stream.
Yeah, sure. Let me just get started. Sorry. So let me just go ahead and start by creating a file. So I'm just going to come here to my VS Code. My live stream is still connected. For some reason.
Uh,
Live stream
can you are you connected? Can you
no,
bring
not
some change
yet. My live
in
stream.
my? Okay.
I'm not connected yet. My live stream is still connected.
Oh,
Still saying connecting over. Maybe send me a new link.
okay. Wait a second. I have to. Let me close the file and reopen it, okay?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Before code. So right now this is a project that we are going to make. Let me share the link to Toby.
My
Sharing.
network for some reason is very bad. But it's really
Okay, right now
great.
we can you can connect. Okay, you can
Okay,
check it,
awesome. Let
Toby,
me
right
try
now.
this.
Yeah.
Let me try this. Uh, Live share. Where are you?
So everyone, we're waiting
Just
for
connect.
Toby to connect the VS Code so that we can collaborate with each other. Okay.
Yep. 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 Please, network. Please.
It's natural. Like sometimes you are having this kind of issue. No problem.
Uh, I have to connect sometime. Though.
If I see the notification and that's it, like Toby is connected. Oh yeah, it's joined.
Oh, I've
You
joined.
are
Oh,
joined.
yeah, I've joined.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I've
that's
joined.
good.
It's awesome. So yeah, we can get started now. So now basically it's going to create like a folder, like the basic directory structure we have now is us having the SRC, course we application that public, but we put some like external things like images and like favicons and other things. Well, we're not concerned about that for now. So let me create the components that we'll be using for this application. And it's basically importing count and title because Ali showed you a demo of what we'll be building. You show them Ali, you show them a demo.
As I said at the beginning of the live stream, so there's no demo. So we are going to make the project throughout, and while we are making the project, we also teaching why we are doing this and what's the logic behind of it.
Yeah, perfect. So let me
Yeah.
create the three files we'll be needing. So Python, JSX, and I'll create a very used TSX, sorry. So I'll create another file, button.jsx. I'm not going to
Yeah,
be
that's
not how you create a real world directory structure because it's probably the feature first or something. And you have to keep folders per component so that you can add the styling out. So styling then link code this. Because for now we are not for this um projects, I'm not going to be doing much styling, so we can just put all the GSX in there as we want. So here I'm going to have
yes.
like a file. So count.jsx. So and each in each of these files, I'm basically just going to come in them and then RFC. RFC is like short command we use, like write stuff and generate. I don't think it works with I think it works with
Okay.
a live share. So I'm going to write it out.
If you want,
All
I
right.
can do it, bro. Can I do it? Like
Okay.
for
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I can
or
write it
if
out. Let me write it
okay, you can do it.
out. The function write to a function, basically function component, and it's going to return something and return a div that contains a div that contains the name Python. Let's write Python in here. Sorry. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to export the code
Yeah.
at the bottom. I'm basically going to copy this thing now, and I'll use some other file so I can like keep the same structure. But before that, I want to put a console.log here. Console.log of um Python here.
Title,
So now this
yes.
is done. So I'm going to copy Python now. I'm going to go to
I think there's
button.gsx. Oh, Ali has done it.
yeah, yeah.
I can't. No, it's not good. So yeah, we probably don't need to import React because we are using GSX. But yeah, it's always a good because we might need to use some other functions, maybe like this callback, but we cannot structure it from React. Either way, it works. So I can come here and do import React from React. So
Mm-hmm.
import React from React. So I'm going to come here and then do console.log button here. So that when the component mounts, basically just support it in the console. Let's come here and do console.log count. Let's leave Ali to handle it from here. To go over the
Okay.
next step, then I'll continue later.
Okay, so that's nice, Toby. Like Toby created three files, sorry, and one for button, one for count, and one for title. So right now, what we need, like, let's go to the button. So we need two props, which are coming from the component. So one is the children, and another one is going to be the onClick, onClick function. So right now, we can replace the name of the button to be children, and we can use the HTML like the button itself. And right now, let's add the functionality for the onClick function and say onClick. So whenever we click the button, something must happen. So this is going to happen. So right now we are all done. The count also is done. So right now, what we need to do right now, and also the count also must have one props. It is going to be the value. So the count is going to be the value itself. So right now, what we need to do right now is to import all of it, like import the three components that we did create. So we can come
in
to
the
the
app.
app.js section, import the title, and we should see the name of the title. Let me refresh the screen. Oh, I have to run the project.
Java.
npm run div. Yeah, because I
um,
closed the VS Code. Yeah, yeah. I have to rerun this one. And let's refresh it. You see, we are seeing the title. And let's use H1 to see it bigger. Okay, we see the title. Also, we need to import the count as well. The count, which we are going to make two state management. One for count itself, set count to be user state 0, and also the value of the count must be the count itself. You see, we are getting 0. Okay, that's good. And
yeah.
also, we are going to import the button as well and say,
Hmm?
so the buttons is going to get two props. One is the name of the button, which is going to be click. You see, we are getting a button. So whenever we click the button, the state must change. Like we can say on click function. Sorry. And
Yeah,
it's going
sorry.
to be instead dot count dot class one. So whenever I click the button, the number must
Count increases
like must increase by one, and that's it. Okay,
by
Toby, you
one.
can yeah, by one. So you can take from now on, Toby.
Yeah, awesome. So Ali created the count state, created title count button, and then now what I need next to create is if you go back to the demo so I can see what we're working with Ali, see what we're building rather.
Okay, right now we have the title, the count, and the button.
Okay, yeah. So I need to create another button that handles salary increase, right?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. So yeah, we basically know what we are trying to build here, but we had like so little time to get started. So but we're going to knock it out of the park because I'm just going to be asking some few questions, get it to work. So in app.jsx, right, I'm going to create another button, right, Ali?
Yes, another button and another count. Yeah.
Okay. So is it better for us to like separate them with like so that we can have them in sections? Maybe I can create a section
Yeah, we can
here,
do that. Yeah.
and I move this to inside that section.
Yeah, that's good.
Right.
And move the title to be at the
Title
top.
to the
Yeah.
top. Yeah, exactly. I move these guys into that section. So I'm just going to delete. Something is wrong. Something is throwing errors. So count here.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
that's good.
So I'm going to create another section. Another section down here. Awesome. So like cursors are the wrong place. So now another title, another count and button. So I'm going to need to create another count state, obviously, because we
Mm-hmm.
can't be keeping both
Yeah.
states, a state for both of them. So and the button would have to have own setup function. But it can still be set to whatever. But let me create the state first. I'm going to come up here and create a state called const salary and set salary. So it's background noise interfering. Ali? Background noise
Yeah,
interfering.
like no, it's okay,
It's a
bro.
lot.
You can continue. You can continue.
So I'm going to put salary here. salary.
Okay.
And I'm going to put salary, set salary to salary plus one.
Like let's say plus 1,000. Yeah, something.
Plus 1,000. Okay. Yeah, plus 1,000. Yeah, because salary obviously if I consider by
Yeah.
months, not by one.
Yeah.
I'm going to change
Okay.
this
So
one from
right
click
now,
to increase salary.
yeah, let's increase number. Okay. So right now, if you see the website to be like we are getting like two counts. One which is
Mm-hmm.
the first one is especially for number, and the second one is especially for salary. So whenever I click the first one, it is the number is increased by one, but the second one the salary is increasing by 1,000. So that's what we
Yeah.
want. So and also Toby, can you like do you want to explain why we have to use callback right now, or should I? Or I should.
Yeah, you can go ahead. I'll chip in.
Okay. So right now, like you might ask, like, what's the point? Like you guys didn't use any callback or use callback or something like a new hook. So
Yeah.
right now you all just use the user state and why? What's the point of using use callback? So you guys didn't use it until now. So let like before using the callback, I have to give you the reason why we have to use callback. So if you go to the website and go to the div tools, if you see the console.log, let me. Oh my god. Let me. Wait. Let me increase this one. Let me refresh the page.
Okay.
You see, we are getting title, count, and button. Like whenever I
Yeah.
like I, when I increase like when I click the first button for increasing number by one, you see all of the console.log is going to be console.log. Like when
Everything
I
is
click this
mountain.
one, all of them, yeah, is all of them is going to be console.log out. When I click the second button, it's also going to be the same. We don't really want we don't really need this one. Like when I click the first button, like button and the button should like console.log. There's no need to for the title for
To be.
console.log, like to see the
Yeah,
title in
exactly.
the console,
Exactly.
like div tools. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
problem that we are getting right now. So,
Mm-hmm.
like if you're working in a massive project and whenever we click the button, so all of the console.log is pop up, so it is going to reduce the performance of the website. So we have to use something
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
callback or use memo for
Mm-hmm.
not console.logging all the text.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we are going to
Yeah.
use callback in here. Like we say, whenever I click the button, there's no need for the title, like this title to see, like to console.log it again and again and again and again whenever we click the button. So that's the problem that you're getting
Yeah,
right
exactly.
now. So I just told you the
Mm-hmm.
reason why we have to use callback. So I want Toby to continue from now on and use like how and teach us how to use callback. And yeah.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. So basically, what we are doing here is that this callback will help us to memorize some stuff. And when it comes to like memorization is just basically us saving, optimizing our application basically. Because I mean, if you're working like in a bigger application and you have to refresh every item on every single change because React is very reactive. So when a change happens, it triggers other changes. So in this case, we increase buttons, so every component we have currently refreshes, which is very and totally unnecessary. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to set up a callback here that will help us handle how this function is being called. So I have to go to the buttons themselves and set up the callback, right? Or do I set it up up here? Yeah, did you get the question?
Sorry,
Can you
Toby,
hear
you're
me?
cutting.
Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you right now. You can
Yeah,
continue.
so my question
Yeah,
was
I can hear
yeah,
you.
my question was so my question was I have to go to each button to set up the callbacks, right? Or do I set them up here?
Like you can like if
Yeah.
you see like we have two function, one for changing
Mm-hmm.
like set count and one for set salary. So you can
Mm-hmm.
come like below the salary
Create
state and
callback.
lazy state, you can make two function, one, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
two function, one for increasing the number and one for
One
increasing
for
the salary.
increasing
So you
salary.
can,
Then
once
I'll put in a use callback.
you're done with those two function, yeah, you can put
Mm-hmm.
those two in the on click props for each button
Yeah, that makes sense.
function.
I'm going to put.
Okay.
I'm going to create a handle salary function. A handle salary. The handle salary is a helper function that will help me to increase the salary count. So here, I'm just going to come here and grab the code we have here for salary already. So we're going to grab this. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to come here and put in handle salary. So yeah, I can call handle salary here. So we can just test see that it works the same way it's supposed to work. Handle salary. And yeah, I
Yeah,
can create
it's
another
working.
function for
Yeah.
undo count. Const undo count. I'm basically just going to copy the same logic that was increasing the count from there, and I'm just going to replicate it here. So here, um, undo count. I'm going to come here and carry this code here. Control X. This is going to go out. And then I'm going to put undo count here. I'm going to call the function of undo count right here. But now the thing we use callback is that use callback takes in a function and it also takes in a dependency array. For the syntax of how use callback works. So we can plug in both functions in their separate use callbacks, and we can put in like a dependency that should help them work. So dependency that would work for our own cases whenever count changes to rerun the use callback again, and whenever only count changes, rerun and refresh our function. So now we're going to be doing more like memorizations. We won't have to refresh every component on every change. So we're only calling the increment function whenever a specific value changes. I'll be calling the um increase salary function as well. Whenever salary changes, the increase count function whenever the count changes. That's what I'm basically going to set up here. So the reason to come in here, I'm going to call. I'm just going to transform both guys to a use callback. The way use callback works, you will see it now. Let me just create a use callback for this guy. So I'm going to come up here real quick. I'm going to comment this out for a second just to show you how the use callback works. Because handle count. Handle count is a use callback. The use callback takes in two parameters. So now if you hover the use callback, and we can see, is it loading on your end, Ali? Can you hover the use callback? You hover use callback, so we can see what it's saying.
Uh, like we are getting some
Hover it.
errors.
No, no, yeah, but
Like we have
hover
to.
use callback, like, yeah, no, no, don't import it. Okay, import it here, import it here. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
So
Use
use
callback.
callback. Yeah,
Okay.
so now if you hover use callback, if you hover use callback in the code, like in the code, just hover. So we see
Okay.
use callback, it takes in a callback function, and it also takes in a dependency array, like a use effect. But now the way it
Mm-hmm.
works like almost like a use effect, but it does some optimizations via memoizing. So it's like a use memo that does some other things. It returns memorized version of the callback that only changes if one of the inputs has changed. So now we'll be using this for account and also this for salary. So we can see like the function is documented here. We know what it does. So we just need to follow the pattern that was stated here and use it to handle the count and salary. So probably I've been going in circles all the while. But let me just explain what I meant in code. So I'm just going to carry the count here. I'm going to carry this undo count function. So now I'm going to uncomment it and carry this undo count function and pass it in as a callback. I need to remove it. I'm going to remove this here because I need a callback function, not the entire
Mm-hmm.
function.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this here. This should go. I'm going to close. So the use callback, set count. Yeah, this is correct. So I just need to put in a comma and pass in the second parameter. The comma here. Something is wrong. What's going on? Use callback.
Uh,
Let's close this function.
yeah.
Something is
Let's
wrong.
create another one. Yeah.
Okay, so let me just create another one.
Yeah.
The const undo count. I'm going to use callback.
Mm-hmm.
So use callback is going to take in a callback function. That's very ironic. Oh, what would I call it? So then now in this use callback, I'm just going to say set count,
Set count.
the count plus one. I only want this to happen whenever count changes. So almost like the if else,
Yes.
but it does
Mm-hmm.
optimizations. So I'm going to do the same thing for salary. Because undo salary, I'm going to set up a use callback. Yeah, use callback. So I'm just going to create this here and a dependency array too. So that is all set up. So I'm just going to carry this come in and write the logic for what we need. And the logic for what we need is set salary, salary plus one.
Salary plus
So I'm
a
just delete this
thousand.
guy because
Yeah.
we don't need it anymore. Now we
Mhm.
yeah, sure, it's fine, it's fine. So now we can set up
Okay.
so now both of them are set up already, and the count and the salary. So now we can test it out. Let's see what happens. So salary, dependency array here, salary.
Okay, let's test it. So
Okay.
let me remove this one. So let me refresh the page. So you see, all it like we get title, title, count, count. So we are expecting like whenever we click the increase number, we only expect like we don't expect the title to be like we don't expect title to be console.log. So when I click the increase button, hmm, we are still
Everything is still
seeing the
rendering.
title. Yeah, the title is
Why
also still rendering. Okay, no problem. Maybe the
why is that
problem.
happening?
So what we need to do right now is to go to each component
Mm-hmm.
and say function, and let's export count, no, uh, default count for a second.
Uh-huh.
Let me refresh the page. Okay, so what we need to do right now is like to say react.memo and wrap the
Okay.
component with react.memo. So right now the
Components.
count, like we also do like we
Mm-hmm.
need to do the similar things to the other component, one
Which is
for
title.
title, yeah, title, and
Mm-hmm.
also for the button as well. We can remove this one and
Mm-hmm.
say
Awesome.
export default button and say wrap the component this one. So right now whenever so when I click
Mm-hmm.
this one, you see we don't see the title.
Yeah, exactly.
So title is not
Exactly.
being, so right now like you might ask
Rendered.
why it didn't work at the first try. So you also like I think when you want to use callback, you also need to wrap the component, like whether it is going to be button, count, title. You have to wrap the component with react.memo. So memo is
Memo.
another hook. It's not a hook, but it's a thing that is coming from React itself, that is specially used like whenever we are doing something with this component. This is the only component that is going to re-render when we bring some change. Like when I click this button, like it is happening like just on this button, and it's not happening for the
Mm-hmm.
title. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what we have to
Exactly.
use react.memo while we are using use callback. And that's the logic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. Very straightforward and it achieves the purpose of what we were trying to explain. So basically what we're doing is like we're doing like some um we're basically just doing like optimizations. So instead of you having to like render the entire component, because the only things that are changing on the page are like counts, salary, count salary, and we're clicking the buttons. So those are the only operations that were happening. So the way we'd expect our application to behave is that only those four things will be changing. We don't want everything on the applications to be changing. So to do that, we can just like memorize and use, and the way we can do that in React is use callback and also memo. So they are like very good APIs or built-in hooks rather that can help us achieve the purpose of what we actually need to do. So there's use callback too,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
another or React to memo is how we're able to memorize the components themselves. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much. Ali, you want to go ahead and explain further?
Like there's nothing like I agree with what you said, and just I wanted to say that the things that you said I do agree on them, and yeah, this was the like I think this was the things that we were supposed to do, like we were supposed to teach in live stream. So I think we are done with our with our teaching. Like we teach about use callback and why we are using it. And before teaching the use callback, we told you the reasons why we have to use this one. And also for if you want to use callback, you also need to use the React.memo. Like memo is a thing that is coming from the React itself, and you have to wrap the component by this memo. Because if you don't use the memo, then callback is not
Yeah,
going to work. Yeah.
no, no, memo is actually quite fast because memo can check your component and notice if there are actually any changes. Because if
Yeah.
it's a static component,
Mhm.
memo can easily track and be like, okay, this component is not actually changing much value. So I can just keep the original value that it has. For title, for example, title is a value that is not really
Yeah.
changing. So memo will just like when you wrap it with memo just analyzes it and be like, okay, this is unnecessary. We don't have to re-render this every time. Any components that need to be rendered are like count and your buttons. So which is why React memo works well. They help us prevent the constructor
Yeah.
bugs. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Like whenever
Yeah.
like yes, you're saying like whenever like something is being changed inside this component, like this is this only component, then
Yeah.
memo is going to say like something is happening in this component, so you have to re-render the whole component. So is that what you're
Yeah,
saying, right?
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
exactly. Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's basically what the memo does. And the use callback, Ali has already explained how it works. So I think that's pretty much the purpose of live stream and we achieved it.
Yes, that's pretty much it. I use callback, use memo, and yes, that's it.
Yeah, so I think it has yeah, we don't have anything else to say unless you have some stuff to say, Ali.
Uh, to be honest, no, I don't have nothing to say right now.
Yeah, this was a crazy one because it came in very late. We had to like schedule it like I think 3 a.m. my time. I scheduled this live stream like 3 a.m. my time, so it was very like late and we actually like, made it work within like such an amount of time. So yeah, so
Mhm.
probably so next week we're doing something way cooler. We'll probably do schedule and prepare for it more earlier so that we don't so that we can have more time to like do awesome stuff. But yeah, we're
Mhm.
able to achieve goals of live stream and I think that's all.
Yeah, that's true. I do agree.
Mm, mm, yeah. So I think that's all. I don't really have anything else to say. I'll sign out now.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that's all for me. Have a wonderful weekend. Don't code please. Or maybe code if you want
Yeah,
to.
good. Yeah, okay. So have a great day, everyone. Hope to see you again. So bye and good luck.
Bye.